when we decided to do the first Farm Aid, first person I called was Neil Young. I asked him if he wanted to come play it. Sure. John Mellencamp. Sure. You know, everybody that I asked said, sure. Musicians know more about what's going on out there than anybody else. They realized the farmers were in trouble. For thousands of musicians and pickers over 30 years have played Farm Aid. For not one red nickel did they get. They didn't want to pay their own way. They paid their own hotel bills, just to show their appreciation to the small family farmer.
When you had that first Farm Aid, did you have any idea that you'd be celebrating the 30th anniversary of it?
No, I thought that, you know, there was a whole lot of people came out for that first one, which showed a lot of interest, so I felt like all those smart guys in Washington could see what the public wants, and they would do something about it. I was naturally, that didn't happen, so we had Farm Aid 2, Farm Aid 20, Farm Aid 30, and we'll have Farm Aid 50 until they decide to do something about it.
Well, I remember when Farm Aid first started. In fact, you and I talked long about that time when you were just starting it. The small family farm was disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Big agriculture, big corporate agriculture was on the steep incline. Now, you and I both have lived long enough to see it be in the decline. Did you ever think you'd live to see the day?
No, I didn't, but you know, a lot of things had happened that I didn't think I'd live to see.
Well, now there's a whole movement for local products.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a local supermarket.
Organic, yeah.
Organic, local grown products.
Yeah, the people are finding out that they don't have to get their food from 1,500 miles away. They can have their farmers around them grow what they need, and they can buy it at the local farm to markets. And the farmers are becoming more and more aware of organic farming, and so things are looking up after all this time.
You have to take some satisfaction in knowing that you're partly, maybe mainly responsible for that.
Well, as humble as I am.
Well, remember, you're talking to a guy from television where humility is unknown.
True, I forgot it.
Well, now, looking at the span of the 30-year period, you started Farm Aid, family farms were shrinking, big ag was on the steep incline. Now, it's better for farmers now than it was before. But now we're entering the new marijuana age. Mm-hmm. Do you or do you not have any concern that we're going to have the corporatization of the marijuana business?
Oh, it'll happen, of course. It's already happening. There's already big companies, you know, in a few states that are already promoting their own product. And that's cool, you know, as long as they, I would hate to see them start growing marijuana and putting a lot of pesticides and chemicals on it so they can grow more and more and more and make more and more money. They probably will do that.
Well, if you're a mother and father, say 45, 50 years old at home, and you're saying to yourself, how do you answer the argument, well, this is a dangerous thing because marijuana is a gateway drug to a lot of harder stuff?
I think that's just a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about. They've heard that somewhere, so they repeat it, but it's not true. In fact, the opposite is true. I think more people are able to get off the strong, bad stuff by just smoking marijuana.
Well, I haven't asked you about you've got your own brand of marijuana now.
Willie's Reserve.
Willie's Reserve.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about Willie's Reserve.
Well, it comes out, I think, in March when we'll be rolling. But we are trying to grow the best, different strains of this, that, whatever. There's, you know, a lot of different kinds, strengths of pot, so we want to try to regulate it, make it all worthwhile and in someone's budget where they can afford it.
Well, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, another thing is you want the brand to stand for, this is quality stuff.
This is
pesticides
yes.
are not in it. It's not overusing water resources.
There's a bunch of gals up in Colorado that started, you know, that are running Willie's Reserve. We call them the high women. But it's like women's growers, I think is their legal name, but they're doing great work, and I visited a facility up there where it was bigger than a football field, where it showed marijuana being grown from the seed, and it was quite amazing to watch all that, to see how it progressed over it. And they're showing the ways to grow it, and I think Colorado probably has realized that there's a lot of money there, and a lot of other states are looking at the bottom line. So
You're talking about the tax money that comes from it.
yeah, I mean, you know, those guys have got to see that. They got to see what Colorado is doing and how much taxes that's bringing into them.
Willie, why lend your name to this? I mean, you don't need the money, so why are you doing it?
Oh, prove a point, I think. So, you know, I felt like that if you really believe in something, you know, why not promote it?